Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour, brought to you by Service Monster. Alvin says, how would you go about a business in the negative to change it to produce profit? I'm still working alone in the field. My partner is helping with calls and scheduling, but I need a little advice on how to get my service to make profit, to make a livable wage for both of us. I got
raise your prices. Raise your prices is that usually fixes a lot of it. In the end, in my opinion, I know that Dan ain't a big fan of it, but a lot of people don't understand Profit First. I think it's a great book. If you can definitely start looking at what you need to cut and why you're not making money, is a good book to start looking at to help get your mindset in the right place to understand profit. And then the other book that he wrote too is
Pumpkin Plan,
which is to find the things that are making you money and cut the things that aren't. You cut the suckers off, because otherwise the suckers are what gets you in trouble. So
you got to do the same with apple trees. You got to cut off. There's certain branches I'll forget. I'd say the wrong ones, but I know I've looked into that because we planted a bunch of apple trees that are hunting land, and I was like, why aren't we getting any apples? And it was like, oh, because you need to trim certain branches because they're sucking off the rest of the tree, so you're not growing the fruit you want to grow. To Jeff's point, why he's not spending more than $250? Don't have enough trucks. Hard to go find another military Hummer. To Alvin's question, I think some of it, Alvin, is it takes time to get profitable too. Like a business doesn't grow. There's human capital that you're putting into it, like your blood, sweat, and tears, and that's free but at a cost, right? And then there's the cost of growth, the marketing, the infrastructure, the systems, and the processes. And if I'm seeing it right, it's you and your partner, and so there's kind of two of you. A lot of times when you start, it's just you and you're working all day and getting back to the calls at night, whatever the case is. And so part of it depends on what you're using to grow and what it's costing you and what the ROI of that is. To Jason's point, usually the biggest mistake we make is early entrepreneurs is we think we should charge less because we don't have the same value as the big guy. And you have your own and probably some arguably more value to add than the big guy. You can be so much more responsive, and the client gets to work with you, not forever, right? But there's an angle you can play that makes you more valuable to a lot of people than the big, huge branded guy. And so you play that, but it doesn't mean you should charge less. You should look around at who's charging most and be right up there with them, so that every time you go out, you make sure you pay enough. This is I think this is the logic where people go wrong is they will charge enough to make them money for themselves right now, but they don't charge enough to make enough money to go spend a bunch on marketing and to go rent that new office space that you're going to grow into, and to buy your next truck, and to buy all the equipment for that next truck. You need to be charging.
And to pay your employees, pay like you have a receptionist, pay like you have a production manager, pay like you have a person that's a lead tech in that. Because when you figure that out and you figure your costs, that kind of goes right into what Dan's saying there.
Hey, Home Service Heroes, thank you guys so much for tuning into our Home Service Happy Hour content today. I sure hope you learned a little something, and I sure as heck hope that it was entertaining. If you did find it fun and entertaining, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more cool, fun, entertaining business content. And speaking of which, stay tuned. There's a little more here and a little more right here. Check it out.